It's Monday. Who feel like chatting? You guys want to chat? I didn't do the hair and stuff. I just didn't today. I suppose I probably could have, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't feel like. I did not feel like, so I didn't bother today. But I thought, let's pop on and let's do a chat. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a coffee together, and we go chit chat. I'm gonna show you guys what I did the other day too. When we were chatting on Friday and I bumped my leg on the chair, do you wanna see what happened? You're gonna freak out. Like, okay, so brace yourself and know that I bruised like a peach, but I banged my leg when I was talking to you guys on Friday, and look at what happened. Like, holy man. Like, I am like the bruisiest bruise girl in like all the world, man. Like, I swear, like, you touch me and I bruise. But I was thinking about that because I just went to sit down on my chair and I was like, oh, don't do that again, Dory. Be careful. Be careful when you sit down, Dory. My God, be so reckless and rammy all the time, I'll tell you what. Hello, Radio Joelle. It's so nice to see you guys today. So I figured we're going to sit down and we're going to chat Keto 101. But, okay, so have you guys noticed that the internet is blowing up? Like, have you noticed the internet's blowing up? All over all my social media, everybody's like, so I Googled James Charles to see who James Charles is. So I thought, you know what? I actually watched this stuff, guys. Don't judge me, okay? But I watch this stuff. I watch a lot of the drama channels. So I've been following this for like the last month. So I thought, if you guys are like the other people on my social media who are like, who's this James Charles kid? What did he do? Dory, how did he lose 2 million YouTube subscribers in 2 days? So I thought, Matt, if you guys want to hear about that, we could totally chit chat about that, because I've been watching this like forever. This is one of my amusement things that I do outside of keto, is watch what's going on in the drama channels, because I think it's fun. I love the spill the tea channels. So if you guys are curious about all of that, I'm kind of in the loop on some of that. So I figured out, if you guys are old ladies like me and you're like, what the heck is that? We could talk about that. We can. Hello, Josh, darling. It's nice to see you. So if anybody has any keto questions, beginner questions, fire them in and we'll answer questions as we go. But I thought, why not start talking about the James Charles thing? Because I know everybody's curious about that. And a lot of people never heard his name until this weekend, when the internet started blowing up over him literally losing subscribers faster than anyone has ever gained subscribers. So I will start by saying there's been lots of like other little mini dramas over the years that I've seen different stuff. I'll kind of touch on just a couple of them. Ooh, keto hair loss. Okay, so let's go there first, because Josh has a question about keto and hair loss. Now, when we discussed this with Dr. Ken Berry, you're not going to love this one, Josh. He assured me that it's likely not keto related if you're losing hair. Now, sometimes when you make a drastic change in your diet, your body will react and you'll lose a small amount of hair for a short amount of time, and it will pick up and it'll start to regrow. The same as when I had my surgery, I lost a lot of hair and then it started to grow back. But when we discussed this one on live Q&A, he assured me that if you're continually losing hair, it's likely not a keto issue. And you might want to talk to your doctor about your hormone levels and get that checked and see what's going on there. But permanent prolonged hair loss is not likely tied to keto. And I was like, but are you sure? Because I have lots of ladies who message me about that. And he said, chances are it's because we're getting older, our cycles are changing, everything biologically is a little different. As we get older, we're gonna lose more hair, unfortunately. Josh says, if I stop keto for a week, I get it back. And I think it's because keto raises my testosterone levels and causes the hair loss on your head. And that could be. Let's do some more research on that, because it's kind of one of those topics that I've touched on, but I've never really like seriously delved into research wise. So I say, let's put that one on our list and let's collectively, we'll go at it. We'll do some research. We'll get back together and we'll do a specific live about keto and hair loss, because together we can each go out, we can seek out the information, and we can come together and we can sort through it together and see what we're all able to learn. So Miss Caroline, our assignment is we are going to research the correlation between keto and hair loss as a group. I think we'll do some research, we'll get back together and we'll talk about it and see what sense we can make of it. Because I've heard some people say, oh yeah, I lost hair when I started keto, and I've heard other people say that's not physically possible. So I say, let's get right in it, let's dig in, and we'll research it together and see what we can figure out. Josh says, because when you got that cockroach hair, nothing kills it, even a nuclear bomb. And Caroline says her hair is amazing. My hair is amazing too. Like, I mean, I didn't do anything with it today, but my hair is soft and it's shiny and it's manageable. I don't lose a lot of hair, even with, you know, the strict coloring of my hair. It's in nice shape. My hair is, I think, I have genetically thin hair, but I feel like my hair has thickened a little on keto and maybe become a little bit more manageable. So let's research on that, because I'm curious. I want to know more about that too. Carolyn said, I had my grandma's fine hair from PCOS, but it looks much better now. And I think that was kind of part of my issue as well. I was never diagnosed with PCOS, but when I look back now on the symptoms that I had pre-keto, I don't doubt that PCOS was one of the issues I was dealing with. I just never got diagnosed because I never brought it up with my doctor. I just lived with those symptoms. I didn't realize that they were a big thing. I just thought that's how it was. Josh says you should spike it in the back and ask to see a manager everywhere you go. That's right. I'd like to see the manager, please. I'm done with my free trial of adulting. I'm no longer interested. Is there a manager I could speak to? This is the story of my life. I'm done with my free preview of adulting. I'd like to give that back now. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Miss Kim and Sharon. Nice to see you, darling. Happy Mother's Day to all of my ladies and pet mommies too. I don't care. If you're a pet mommy, you deserve some credit there too. Because my pets drive me crazy. I deserve like extra presents just for, you know, just for how my dog is. I am awesome, Miss Kim. How are you, darling? How are you? I'm really excited. I was hammering out some more plans for KetoCon today, and I'm really, really excited. I'm going to get to stay with one of the ladies from group, and we're going to have so much fun together. Oh my goodness, we're already planning like all of our shenanigans. Like, shenanigans. And actually, I should mention that to you guys too. Now, we're only about 5 weeks away from KetoCon. So I was thinking, let's start doing some little mini featurelettes, just short little quick Q&As with some of the speakers and some of the companies that we're going to get to meet at KetoCon, so we can get an idea of some of the people's backstory before we meet them there. So today I started leaving messages and reaching out to make plans to do some lives over the next couple of weeks where we can talk to some of the people who are going to speak and some of the companies we're going to meet. Because honestly, that's my favorite part about attending an event. Okay. On refeed, how do you whole foods? Okay. I don't think I understand that question. Is refeed a site? I don't know what that means. I do try to do as much whole food as possible. I think that's one of the best things about keto, is that we're able to consume our foods in a whole form and make as much of it ourselves as possible. When I found keto, there weren't convenient products. Oh, okay. Josh says, yeah, 250 milligrams of white rice, then fresh fruit. Well, and I don't know a lot about the whole foods, the whole 30 foods plan. I don't. When people ask me things like, what do you think of Atkins? I have to say, well, I don't really know enough about the Atkins diet to base any kind of opinion on it, to be honest. And I'm sort of the same way with Whole 30 Foods. I know that they produce good, clean food, which, yay, I am down for all day long. I think as long as we're all striving to eat better, pure foods, then you know what, I'm not the keto Nazi who says, well, you know what, but you're eating sweet potato. Whatever. If you're healthy, I say go for it. But we could do some more research on it if it's something that you have interest in. It's just not something that particularly piqued my interest. But if you want to do some research on that, I'm down. I like playing research games. I like looking stuff up and then chatting with you guys about what we found. So I don't know a lot about the whole foods program, but we can learn. Josh says, I only do carbs because I'm a muscle-bound meathead who benches 385 pounds. And you know what? I never judge anybody for, you know, what they eat, what they choose. It is neither here nor there to me. I support you all equally. From the vegans to the carnivores to me right in the middle, I don't judge. If you are, you know, vegetarian or vegan and you need solutions, hit me up. I will help you find them. If you are carnivore and you're struggling with only being able to eat your meats, hit me up. I will help you out. I was chatting with a lady in Keto for Real Life People, Nancy's group, yesterday, and she's struggling with finding alternatives because she finds every time she eats almond flour, it bungs her up. So I've got some carnivore cakes and donuts and crackers and things like that. So if you guys are struggling, I encourage you to reach out. I honestly don't mind. It really doesn't bother me. You don't have to feel bad when you shoot me a message that says, hey, Dory, I'm looking for this or that, because the difficult challenges are my favorite. Like, that's what I live for. When somebody messages me and they want something that they can't have and I get to create it, that makes my world. Like, at the end of any day, that's my favorite part of any day. So if you're struggling, let me know and I will help. I promise. If I can't figure it out, I'll find somebody who could figure it out and we will figure it out. Josh wants to know my thoughts on global warming, since how I basically live in the North Pole. Do you want to know the truth? I have this theory that I developed when I was a kid, and I feel like the seasons are switching. I feel like eventually, as our access changes, like winter will be summer and summer will be winter. It's just a thought, dude. Go with it. I don't even know. That's my thoughts on that. Global warming. I say it could be warmer. I'm just putting that out there. I don't like the cold. Oh, so funny. So, are you guys curious about the James Charles thing? Or if it doesn't matter to you, we can talk about whatever else. I just thought it was a funny topic, and I know that even people who have never heard of it are hearing of it. Because my son was like, oh yeah, I heard, you know, the internet is breaking over this. So if you guys are curious, we can chat about that. And we'll see if Josh has any other awesome questions. I love Josh because he always has like the most fun questions and the best comments. Like, dude, you're my favorite. Like, I swear if you were my neighbor, I'd be bugging you all of the time. We would hang out all the time and just laugh and be idiots together. And speaking of being idiots together, if you guys are attending KetoCon, make sure you let me know so that we can make plans to hang out and do something. Josh says the weather swings around with hormonal changes, sunlight and depression. Okay, so about a month ago maybe about 3 months ago. Do you guys remember when I started doing Spill the Tea? I think that's when I fell down the YouTube rabbit hole with all the Spill the Tea channels and I started watching some of that stuff. And I think mostly because it interests me. I love makeup. I love fun. I love seeing that kind of stuff. So some of the first dramas that I saw involving James Charles were pretty kind of standardy sort of stuff. Like, you know, he makes nasty comments on Twitter, or, you know, he beefs with other brands and stuff. So what really happened big deal wise about 2 weeks ago was James Charles, he's a young man. He does makeup. If you guys don't know who he is, he's about 20 years old, I think. He made a post on his Instagram story for a company called Sugar Bear Hair Vitamins. Now, when he did the post, he said that they didn't pay him for the post, that they had given him some free security at an event he was at, so he gave them a shout out in return for that. But people noticed right away that it was hashtagged ad, because that's a new rule. If you make financial gain from something, you have to hashtag it ad. So that in itself, not really that big of a deal. But this is where it kind of becomes a big to-do. One of his closest friends and a lady who helped him build his social standing when he first started is a lady named Tati. And she has a vitamin company. And although they were friends, he had told her that he couldn't promote vitamins on his platform because his market is very young. A lot of his followers are teenagers. So she was upset and she went online and she made a video. She didn't name him specifically, but she said that she was really upset with the community and she felt that she was unsupported. So that's kind of where the beginning of that drama started. Now, if you guys want to watch some video clips, we could do that too. We have time. We could do that too. I'll go to YouTube and I'll find you where that was and we'll just watch a little clip of that. So I had already kind of heard about some of the other dramas. One of the other things he was getting a lot of flack for is he's starting to do a tour where you can go and meet him, and it costs like astronomical amounts of money for the meet and greet. So that kind of weaves in there too in some of the stuff that I had been watching previous. So I'm going to show you guys the video that was posted and of the vitamins, of the Sugar Bear vitamins. And I totally, I personally understand why that would be upsetting. If you help somebody grow and build their brand and they were your friend outside of that, and then they promoted somebody else's brand that was your direct competitor. So we're going to kind of watch, I'll pick one of these. We can only watch like little clips of YouTube videos together just for copyright purposes. But we're going to see what this one is. And I'll let you guys watch just, I don't know, we could probably do about 30, 40 seconds of it at a time without getting in big fat trouble over it. So let's see if we can find the actual, okay, so this is the post itself.
Coachella, and they really helped me and my friends out with sister security because it was crazy. You guys probably already know about their iconic hair vitamins, but they just came out with brand new vegan sleep vitamins, and first of all, they taste so bomb, but most importantly, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety recently, and it always comes late at night when I'm laying in bed thinking, which is not fun or fresh. So I've been taking these 30 minutes before bed, and they've been really, really helping. So if you guys want to check them out, you can swipe up.
Okay, so what a lot of people's issue is that he doesn't feel comfortable promoting vitamins to little kids, but this brand of Sugar Bear Hair is literally mostly sugar. Like it's a brand of supplements that's, like its name would sound, mostly sugar. So he was promoting sleep vitamins to teenage kids instead. So then she made a video, and thankfully, this one has the clip of that video in there as well. So look at how easy off we are. We can just watch that too.
Just like vent or do a rant or anything like that.
Oh, hang on. Clicked away from it. Hang on one second. Okay, there we go, back there again. And I do understand where that is. Now, Tati got a lot of flack for talking about it on social media, but I get that too, because I've done that with you guys. You know, if something is bothering me or upsetting me, we talk about it. So she made this video.
Hey guys, who is having a crappy...
Oh, why am I clicking away from it over and over again? Hang on.
Hey
Okay.
guys, who is having a crappy day? Raise your hand. Right now. I just wanted to hop on. I don't even really know why. I never get in these moods to just like vent or do a rant or anything like that, but I'm literally sitting here in my studio. Like I can't film. And this never happens to me, where I feel like I'm here lost, and I feel like community especially,
Love you, Josh.
like, I feel really lonely. You know, let's just support one another. That's how it should be. And when you do so much for people in your life and they not only don't return the favor, but they just don't even see you.
So, she made this video, and this video caused a bit of a stir because she was upset. She was crying. She didn't have her friends' support. So then there was a video apologizing for the post, and I'm going to forward, it might even be in this video too, actually, we'll see. There was an apology for the post, and let me see if I'll find you that one, the apology. So there was an apology where he went on and he said that he was really sorry for hurting his friend and that he didn't really think about it and he didn't get paid. Like, there wasn't any money involved and he wasn't being paid, so he didn't really feel like it was that big of a deal. So he did make a public apology. Let me see if I can forward to the part of that there. Okay. So let me go to where the apology part is. So basically I don't know if I can find that. So he posted an apology on Instagram where he said, you know what, I'm really sorry that I hurt my friend. Tati has vitamins that I use every day as well. But here's where everybody kind of lost their noodle. He, again, didn't name his friend's brand by name. He never took down the original commercial that he posted for the other brand. And that was kind of where everybody was upset. They were like, okay, but you're still not helping your friend. So that was kind of where that sat. And then on the weekend, Tati made a video, a full-length video explaining that she was no longer going to associate with James Charles. So she spoke about it directly. She named him by name and said that she needed to make a very public split from him, that they were no longer going to be friends. Now, at the end of this video is when everything started to kind of like really, really go crazy. So to the point where right now, I'm going to show you guys, if you search James Charles subscriber count, people are watching. There are live channels watching his subscriber count go down while Tati's goes up. So originally, she had just shy of 6 million subscribers. She's almost at 9 million now. He started at 16.5 million subscribers, and he is under 14 million now. But there are literally live stream channels that are watching. Like, they're just live. They're just, let me see if I can turn it so you guys can see. There we go. So there are literally channels, and more than one, like multiple channels where thousands and thousands of people are watching this unfold. And I think the reason why it's such a big deal on the internet is because nobody has seen this kind of huge shift in such a small amount of time. But the reason why I watch these things is as a reminder, you know, when we are out there and we're on social media and we're putting our whole life out there, everything we do is objectionable, right? Everything we do, everything we say, how we treat other people, how we associate. There's always going to be somebody looking at you and watching you and holding you to a high standard. So when the actual video came out, she talked about, you know, what happened with their company and then other allegations that have come out of a predatory nature. So a lot is kind of really twisted into that, but I think that a lot of people are invested only in the fact that it is social media drama. So I think that's kind of where I wanted to lead in with that. And we all know that when we post our stuff out online, everybody is going to see it. And sometimes in moments of great stress, we don't always think about those things logically, right? I mean, I can't say there's never been a time when I haven't, you know, got mad or behaved poorly in public. So I do watch these things to keep me mindful and to remind me. And also for me, a lot of my market is kids. A lot of small kids watch my content, and that is always a constant reminder for me as to what I'm putting out there and how people consume it and how they see it. And sometimes it's not always the big things that we do that make a big splash. Sometimes it's the very small things that we are doing that people take note of and pay attention to and notice for later. So I do really feel like there's some freeing part of putting your stuff out on the internet and, you know, being out there as public discussion. And there are some things about it that are difficult. And I really want you guys to weigh those things when you think about starting your own group, your own page, your own sphere of influence, your own sharing network. Because I know that for me, it's really important to stay mindful of that and how, no dog, come here and say hi if you want to, but you don't need to whine. You were outside right before we started the live. Come say hello. Come say hello to the peoples. You want to say hello? Come say hello. I'll turn you guys so you can say hello. Come say hello to the dog. Oh, dog. Oh, dog. So helpful, dog. Yes. She's very helpful. She loves you guys. As soon as the shiny box is on, she's like, oh, Mom's not paying attention. Josh says, I told you if you wanted 1,000 subscribers, all you do is the Instagram pose and the booty pics. I'm just not down for it, though. You know, I'd rather build friends who want to hang out with me than, you know, creepy boys who want to look at my booty. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have that great of a booty. So, you know, if I'm gonna like rely on my booty to make me famous, ain't never gonna happen. And truthfully, who wants to be famous anyways? I don't desire to be famous. I just want to hang out with you guys and have a good time. I mean, that's really what we do. If I was on the aim to become famous, I'm sure I would do things very differently. Maybe. I'm such a crazy, I don't honestly know. And the dog wants to play now because, you know, we're involved. She's over here now playing. So anyways, that was kind of my thought of the day and my surprise with the internet, because it reminds us that things can happen in a moment, change in a moment. The internet is very mob mentality, right? Like we're able to consume such a large amount of information and everybody has an opinion. So although the internet brings us together in lots of circumstances, it also separates us if we allow it to. So I guess the ending thought is to be as authentic as you can be and be as real as you can be online as you are in your everyday life, because those things will always cross over. There isn't really any way to keep your life separate from your internet life. My life is kind of like this. Like what I do in my everyday life and what I do on the internet is this. And I need to be mindful of that. And we all need to be mindful of that. And just to go out of our way every day to work harder, to strive to help other people. And as long as we are working and improving together, then we'll get there. We will get there. I don't know. This internet thing confuses me. It wasn't a thing when I was a kid. So I strive to be exactly who I am all of the time, whether my camera is on or my camera is off. So in everyday life, I encourage you guys to do that as well. I know that a lot of us get flack for our keto ideas. And on the other side of that, we kind of hide that side of our lives. You know, we've got our keto friends and our keto family, but we don't talk to our regular friends or family about that. And, you know, maybe we don't want to post about it on our Facebook page because we don't want, you know, people being upset or having their opinion. And I think that it creates a great divide in our lives. And I feel like the more we are authentic and the more we are truly who we are together, that's when people start to understand. So I love you guys, and that's the message for the day. Be you. Be you everywhere you go, whether people think you should be you or not. I give you permission. I give you my official permission to be you, baby. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow, and we will chit chat then. Bye, darlings.